What's up guys, Qehzy or Noah here bringing you guys another tutorial. Today I'm going to be covering how to create an Instagram story using Designhill.com's Studio. You may have seen me cover this studio previously in a video, and basically Designhill Studio is like a mini Photoshop where you can create a bunch of stuff for free and easily on Designhill.com. And you can sign up for free. You just have to go to designhill.com/studio. And once you do that and you sign up and have an account and everything, you can come to your studio dashboard and it will look something like this. You can see I have a few things saved from my creations here, my designs. And you'll see up here we have a bunch of options to create a design, like Instagram posts, poster, Instagram story, which is what we'll be covering, YouTube thumbnail, and a bunch of other things. And if I click through, you can see it's just kind of unlimited, as well as being able to do custom dimensions. But we're going to be doing an Instagram story. We're actually going to be creating this one, which is one I created for my Skillshare class that recently dropped, which if you're interested, by the way, you can get my link in the description and learn how to do that. But if you're wanting to learn how to create an Instagram story, let's go ahead and click Instagram story here. So once you click that, it opens up your canvas for you, and we have the Instagram story templates set up, and we have a bunch of templates over to the left here that we could use as inspiration or recreation, whatever we'd like. If you scroll through them, you can see there's a lot of good designs here, and you could use these as a base for your design, whatever it is. Or you could use some elements, like maybe you like the little graphics on this guy and you want to click it, and maybe you just want to delete all of this stuff, except for like the zigzags or whatever. That's something you could do. I'm just going to start from a blank canvas, and I'm actually going to go and make this white for now. And I'm going to first start off by adding my own photo. You can see we have a bunch of options here, but one of the things is upload. So if we go to the upload tab, you'll see I already have the image I want here, but if you click upload an image, you can go through and go through your documents and upload whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and click this since it's what I want to display. And I want mine centered right in the middle here, and I think I'll adjust the size slightly. So I'm going to come down to the arrow here and just increase the size a little bit. And then if I move this, you'll see I get a pink line come up, which means it's centered. And then if I go up, I get the pink line going horizontal as well. So this is perfectly centered, and that's what I want. I'm also going to click the background real quick, and if I do that, you'll notice we get a little square here, which is our color. If I click that, I can set that to black. Now I'm going to come up here as well and name this real fast. So I'm going to call this Insta Story. Click Save. And that will save it to my dashboard here. It's not updated right now, but you can see this one's untitled. If I refresh this, it should be here. And there it is. I do not know what happened to the other one, but the new one's there. Now you can go about your design in a few different ways. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to use a template as a basis, you can, and then change colors of elements. For me, I liked to design it myself from scratch. So I wanted to put in my text first, so I know all the content I want in there, and then put a design kind of around it. So I'm going to come to the text tab and go to add a heading. And the heading I want to add is check out my latest Skillshare class. And what I'm going to do is take this right handbar and drag it out, and the same with the left, and move it up, and let's center it first off, and then let's go to the color into white. Very nice. And the size will bump up to maybe 36. That might be a little big. You can see it made our whole box bigger, so I'm going to make that a little smaller again. And then I'm going to come right here, which is, this is the align tool. So right now it is centered. I want to click it once, click it twice, and now it's centered left. So if I just click off, you can see it, this is centered left. And I'm actually going to click on that. And if I go to the corners and decrease the size, it will also decrease the size of the text. As opposed to when you click on the right side or the left side and you drag that out, that just adjusts the size of the box. But okay, that's a little too small. I'm going to increase it slightly to about there. Okay. Bring it up slightly higher, and now we want to go ahead and you could do one of two things. You could duplicate this or come over and click another text. I'll just duplicate this because it's a little easier. So I'm just going to have it selected and go to copy, and you can see it'll duplicate it below. And let's go ahead back up there. And this is going to be a little different. I want it to not be a heading. I want it to be a little thinner. So what we're going to do is click the Open Sans font, and we can continue to use it, but I want to go to regular instead of bold, as I believe this was. And then the size will bump down to maybe 24. That might be a little too small. Let's go back up. Let's do like 28. I think that works. And I'm actually going to double click here, or triple click to select our text so we can overwrite it. And I'm going to say how to create a dripping skull poster in Cinema 4D and Photoshop. The text is still a little too big, and it's saying it's still at 36 right now for me. That's weird. But let's go ahead and bump it down to 24 or maybe 20. Okay, we'll do the 28, and I'm gonna increase this a little bit. Okay, I want it to be an uneven amount of words on each line, and I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna click the Open Sans font and go to regular to make sure that's thinner. Or maybe even do thin. No, okay, let's do regular. And the last thing I'm gonna do is click the color, and I'm gonna do the 4th gray right here. You can do like the 3rd gray, but I like the 4th gray. It blends in a little more. And that is our subheading for that. And actually, I'm gonna drag this out one more. Yeah, I think I like that better. And then you just have to get the spacing how you like it. I'm gonna add a bar in here shortly, so I know there's gonna be something in between it. And I think this spacing's pretty good. Now let's go ahead and select both of these and go to copy. And if you just drag that down, they're kind of grouped together right now, even though they're not technically grouped, but we can drag them both at once, and we'll drag them to the bottom and have them centered. Now click them one at a time, and this time go to right align, so you'll have to click twice again. And let's go ahead and line this up. Let's align this guy to the right with it, and maybe bring it up a little closer. Okay, and then let's change the text of these. So the new heading is get 2 months free with my link. And I want this to not be as bold of a heading. So we're gonna go, is this, okay. I'm getting confused with the font sizes. Yeah, okay, it is 36, just making sure. So we wanna bump that down slightly to maybe 32. And then on this one, we want to change the text to my link, or whatever your subtext would be. And it's going to be www.skillshare.com/r/user/Qehzy, which is my link. And then okay, we're going to have to realign these to the right of each other. There we go. And then let's select them both, and they're actually going to come kind of centered, but not really, over here. Very cool. So this is still a work in progress where this text will go, but we have all our text set up, so now we can kind of go into the design a little more. And one thing I want to do is add my logo / my like profile pic or my avatar. So I'm actually going to move this over slightly and go to upload again, And you can see here is my logo, and I'm going to click to add that, make it a little smaller, and this is going to come into the right side here. It's going to be pretty small, so let's do that. That's pretty good. And I'm going to space this out just slightly more. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now we can get into the proper design. So there's a lot of elements you can use in your design from over to the left. For example, they have photos you can use, elements you can use, and icons. And I'm going to be using all three of these. So the first thing we're going to use is a photo. And you can see I have this recently used photo, which is this black and white. It's kind of like the corner of a frame of some sort. But there's a bunch of images, and you can also search for images. One search I was messing around with for this was abstract. And you get some pretty good results for this. Actually, like really cool. It just happened that none of these really fit my color scheme, so I didn't use them, and I preferred to go with the black and white. I could have used some of these that are black and white, but I went with a little more subtle one. So feel free to search whatever you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and this is the image I used, and I found it in this all images page, just scrolling through a little bit. I don't know how far I'd have to scroll to find it again, but I'm just going to go ahead and click it, and it will add it to the page. So I want to fill up the whole document, so I'm going to just grab the corner, extend it, grab this corner, extend it, and there we go, it's filled. Now I want to go to position, and you can move backwards, which will go, it'll go behind the element right below it, but we want it below everything, so we're going to go to back. And there we go, that looks real nice. I really like that in the background. It stands out a little too much, so I'm going to click it and come over here to the transparency square. Click that, and we're going to lower this. And I want it to be a little subtle, so maybe something like 10 will work. And yeah, that's pretty good. By the way, if you come over here, you can click this percentage and zoom in. So I'm at 43%, so anything bigger will zoom in, anything lower will zoom out. So if I do 50%, that slightly zooms in, 75% really zooms in. And you can kind of see how this looks, and I'm liking it. Let's click that percent again and go back to fit. And now we want to go to icons, since we're only using one element here. And I'm going to be using a little pointer finger. And let me see if I can just find it. I don't know what the exact search would be. Well, okay, there's a lot of fingers going on here. I want a pointer finger though. If we do hand. Actually, I think I'm gonna change it up and do a click. And maybe if there's a good hand, yeah, actually I'm going to use the hand again, but I'm going to do a click hand, which is different from what I used. So I actually like this one. I'm going to click that, and you'll see it pops up right there on screen. It's black right now, so I'm going to click the square to change the color, and we're going to make it white. And then I'm going to decrease the size, and you'll notice one thing we haven't touched yet is rotating things, and you'll see there is a rotation button there. So I'm going to rotate it maybe 45-ish, this is 46. And let me zoom in, make it a little bit smaller, and I just want this next to my link kind of as like an incentive to like, hey, click this, even though on my Instagram story it wouldn't be able to be clicked, but just the idea so people would visit this link. I'm gonna make this a little smaller because I feel like it's a little too big. I want this to be a little more compact. And let's adjust our logo or our little icon there. I think that's pretty good. That might need some more tweaking, but let's get into the fun part and start designing some stuff. So I'm going to go to elements, and the first thing I want to add is this line, these lines. There are a bunch of lines in a square, and this is like the perfect thing to have behind a picture. I think it's really cool because it's a solid color essentially, but it adds some texture. So I'm going to click that. It'll add it here, and I want it to be kind of a purplish. So I'm going to click the color, click purple, and I'm going to try to match this more with my document. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to move it up to this like top left corner, and we're going to move it backwards. And you'll notice you can do control bracket to move it backwards instead of clicking it. And I want to go there, so it is behind the main picture here. And I think that purple's pretty good. So I'm gonna roll with that. I'm also gonna go ahead and get a normal square here, and we're gonna make a few different rectangles to use here. So the first one, we're gonna start off by having one over onto the right side of our picture, and maybe drop it down, maybe make it slightly thinner. And again, we want to go backwards till it's behind our image there. There we go. And let's click the color, and I want like this mint green that I have going on here. So let's do something like that, maybe slightly brighter. That's pretty good. And I'm happy with that placement. Let me just make sure the background image is all the way to the back. I think it is now. And now we can adjust this slightly. I'm going to zoom in again and do something like that. Okay, there we go. So that is like right down the middle of it. We have a little bit peeking out at the bottom, and I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and press copy on this, and we're going to move it up, and let's rotate it. And if you hold shift, you'll get nice even rotations to like 90 degrees, 45 degrees, stuff like that. And this one's going to go to the top, and we're going to make it a little smaller. Maybe have it poke down a little bit, and maybe like right there. And we're actually going to go ahead and copy that again, and we're going to have it interlinked up here, but have this one go a little further. To something like that, and maybe have it slightly extend. Cool. And let's go ahead and change colors. We actually want this one to be purple. So let's click purple, and then you'll notice once you click a color, it will show your recent colors. And I can go ahead and click the purple we used before, so it's the same one. And there we go, the overlapping blocks there, I like. Click that purple one and copy it again, and we're gonna go down to the bottom. And I'm just gonna add that right here on the edge. And you could adjust the size of it. You could leave it at the same, it's up to you. I'm okay with it, but let's go ahead and get the green one then too, and copy that one as well, and go to the bottom with it. And this time it's gonna be a little longer. And extend like so. So that's pretty cool. The last one we want to do is go ahead and get that green one at the top one more time, copy it, and we're going to make it the thin line between the text here. So we'll extend it out. And you can extend it as far as you want. I'm going to extend it in between the two lines of text and then thin it out. So you can see this is the longest, then this is the longest, and then this is the shortest width-wise. We can actually zoom in here a little more and get it a little thinner. Like that, that's pretty good. Let's go to fit. And I'm pretty happy with that. You could also take this line, copy it, and bring it. Oops. I always use Command Z, a Photoshop habit, but we'll use the back button there. Let's select it and bring it down like so. And you can see I put it here, and it is currently on top of my image there. If I don't want that, I can just click my image, go to position, and move that forward until it's above it. So we have something like that. Very cool. And then that's about all I did for my design. You just want to then go ahead and tweak things. So I'm not really happy with the positioning of that. Might move that closer. Cool. And maybe I actually make this a different color. Maybe make it the green or the purple. Probably the green, so it stands out a little more. So it looks like a link. And I could actually come here and underline it. That might look a little better. And then we could change this line to the purple. A little subtler, and then there you go. That's pretty good. Post this on your Instagram story. If you have enough followers where you could put links, you can leave a spot for it. If you're tagging someone on your Instagram story, you could leave a space so you could put at their username and people can click on it and you can leave the space for it. That's something to always keep in mind. But once you're done and you're happy with what you have, be sure to click save so it saves to your studio dashboard. And when you're ready to download it, you just want to go to the download button and download it to your computer. And once this is saved, we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. Let's click download, and you'll see there's an option for size. So 1x is just the size that it is, which is what we want because it's an Instagram story. But if you design something that you want to scale up, you could scale it up to 3 times, or you could scale it down to a half. So that's a pretty cool feature they have here. Also, if you're saving it with a transparent background with PNG, you can check that. If you want to compress it, you can compress it there. But of course, you can choose your file here, maybe a JPEG or a PDF. We'll do the PNG, and then you just want to go ahead and click download. Alright, and then the download's done. We can click our download and boom, there is our story. So then we can go ahead and post that on our Instagram and be good to go, and it's that simple. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial on creating Instagram stories with Designhill. Thank you to them for sponsoring this video and letting me show this off to you guys. This tool is really great for new designers or beginners, anybody that's not a designer too, that just needs something done. It's perfect for them. So if you're trying to get something done quick, this is the way to do it. You don't have to download Photoshop or buy Photoshop or anything else like that. Just visit a website, you can do it from wherever and be good to go. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.